So I just want to address something that really grinds my gears about these clout chasers when it comes to like celebrity party stories. I just feel like some of these women are kind of being a little petty when it comes to their allegations. I'm not trying to downplay anybody's situation, okay? We all handle things differently. I recently saw a TikTok of this woman who's claiming like years back she went to like a Diddy yacht party and she immediately got off because a movie producer asked her to go in the other room with him. Like, okay, that's a little petty. Like, you've never gotten hit on before. Like, I mean, I've been to many parties and I've had people ask me to sleep with them. That's like common, at least the world that I live in. But the point I'm getting at, okay? So I've had a few experiences with parties with celebrities present. I've had situations where I've had my phone taken at the door, and I've had one situation where I did have to sign an NDA. So let's get into like what I think, my perception and like my experience. Once again, I'm not downplaying anybody's situation or saying that like they're wrong or like, but this is just what I experienced. So from what I gather, celebrities, they're just people, right, that make more money or have a big platform, right? Of course they don't want people, regular average Joes like us, up in there with our cell phones just recording them or asking to take pictures with them. But especially because you see now with all these videos where people try to spin a situation to make it seem like it's something it's not, right? So clearly that's why celebrities don't want people to have phones, because they don't want you to film something and try to spin a story and make it seem like it's something it's not. Also, they probably don't want you like trying to put a hit out on them, like calling people like, hey, come light up this place, so and so's here. So I wouldn't say that like your phone being taken is like odd. That's very common. I've been to quite a few parties with celebrities present where your phone is taken. And as long as you're about to leave with no problem, they walk you out and they hand you your phone. Now, I'm going to talk about the situation where I did have to sign an NDA. So, from my understanding, I think if your phone is taken from you, you don't have to worry as much. But you should worry if your phone is taken and you also have to sign an NDA. Because clearly, if you're signing an NDA, some shit is about to go down that they don't want getting out, right? Because once you sign an NDA, and like, if you don't have your phone on you, like, clearly no one's going to believe you, right? Just like you're probably not going to believe what I'm about to tell you, right? And that's what they want you to think. No one's going to believe them. So here's my story. So this is back in my 20s, okay? So before you say, like, what, who would, no. I cleaned up nice in my 20s, and I was like, who knows, like 50 pounds lighter. It don't matter though. Guys will go for anything, okay? Most guys, okay? Don't get offended. So I was a shot girl at a club. So we would go to a lot of after hours after work. We went to this one very popular after hour in Philly. I'm not sure if it's still open. It's called Z Bar. I mean, I can't get in trouble for saying that. Who remembers Z Bar, right? A lot of stories about people allegedly getting roofied there. So, my coworker and I, who I honestly can't even remember her name, and I've never seen her after this night because she quit her job and she unfollowed me on social media. Her and I are at the bar, we're waiting to get a drink, and this big man who, you know, I thought was just very loud and obnoxious comes up to us and he's like, what are we drinking? Right? I'm like, who is this slob? And he like puts his arm around me and he like drooled on my head. Like, I'm not kidding. He was so drunk, the drool like dripped out of his mouth and landed on my head. So I was like, ew, you're fucking gross. You just drooled on my head, bro. And he throws a $100 bill at me. He's like, get your hair done then, whatever. So I'm like, okay, you buying shots too? He's like, yeah, what are we drinking? He gives me another $100 bill. And he's like, order whatever the fuck you want. So he runs away real quick. He's like, I'll be right back. And I just give the $100 bill to the bartender. I'm like, let's have this, this, and this, and as many shots of Fireball that this will buy us. He comes back and knocks out like 4 shots in a row. I'm like, oh my God. So he's like running around this club. He's like nuts, like so much energy. And then this guy who I know, who was always a fake motherfucker, who didn't really like fuck with me but acted like he did, comes running up to me all Joe talking about, oh my God, do you know who you were just talking to? And I'm like, yeah, some fat slob. He's like, no, you're talking to, now I don't want to disclose this person's name, first of all because of the NDA, second of all I don't want to ruin his career, but he was a football player, which I didn't really get into sports till like my late 20s, early 30s. So like I had no clue who any athletes were. So yeah, it was a football player. I'm not going to say who and what, like he was a quarterback at the time. That's all I'm going to say. Would have never guessed it with the way he was acting. So he invites me and my coworker back to where him and his friends are going. We're like, okay, fuck it. So we get there and he's like, okay, if you don't mind, we're just going to put everyone's phone in the safe. So he's like, we're going to take everybody's phone if you don't mind. I'm like, okay, like, that's fine. I guess you just don't want me, like, taking your picture and stuff. And then the papers come out. They want us to sign NDAs. And my first question is, why? And he's like, because we're going to do some shit that I don't want you fucking talking about. At this point, though, I didn't even clarify that I knew that he was an athlete. So we're like half drunk. I'm trying to read through this paperwork. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I felt fine. But also at that point, like, in my 20s, I was maybe a little suicidal, so I didn't really care what happened to me. Long story short, he just wanted to snort some lines and not have that get out to the public. I totally get it. I literally asked him, is this why you run so fast? And he said, no, I only do this on special occasions. He did, however, want me and my coworker to both, go down on him. And he offered us money. I didn't do it. I really wasn't feeling it. I didn't think he was good looking. But my coworker really wanted to. She was with it. She was begging me to do it. I told her, girl, do you, but I'm not doing this, okay? I ain't judging, but I'm not doing it. So then they ended up, the other guy there, who I don't think was an athlete, I think he was just a regular person, he brought another group of girls there, and the girl I came with started acting all Joe with the other girls, and I ended up leaving, and she stayed back, and I'm pretty sure she got one of the other girls to do that with her. She unfollowed me on everything, and I never seen her at work again. But yeah, I think, like, we have to start, realizing, like, every time you go to a party and they want to take your phones, it's not really because you're about to, like, get essayed or something. Of course they're going to ask you, and they're going to bribe you with money because they can, and they think that no one's going to fucking believe you when they tell these stories. Like, you probably don't believe me, right? But it happened. It happened. I don't think taking the phone is a red flag, though, as much as the NDA. But when they want to do both, you do want to be a little careful. I also recommend, if you do go to a party like that, you either don't take drinks and shots that are already poured for you. You ask for them to open a new bottle in front of you because they'll have it because they got the money. Or you literally ask for like a beer or like a seltzer and ask them to open it in front of you so that you don't get roofied. But seriously, just because like a famous person asks you to sleep with them, that doesn't make them creepy. They might be creepy, but like that, if they're like straight up asking, it's not as bad as literally getting roofied and then getting essayed. So stop with the clout chasing, okay?